life in the modern world is hard for you because you aren't designed for the modern world. You aren't meant for this world. And that doesn't mean that you need to disappear. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you need to escape. What it means is that if you don't start to learn how to live in this world, the world of cars and traffic, apartment buildings, people living stacked one on top of the other, disconnection from the natural rhythms of Earth. If you don't learn how to manage your nervous system in this world, you will go crazy. You will want to run away. You'll burn out. You'll probably even numb. You'll probably even get into all kinds of curious little addictive challenges. Or you can recognize that you were not made for this world, and you can simply leave. Sitting here on this bench next to a very busy street, fortunately on a Sunday, I was noting myself feeling a tremendous sense of panic because I don't have a game plan from Tuesday onward. I leave the apartment that I've been staying in on Tuesday. Very generously, this space has been gifted to me, so I didn't have to pay anything. A simple invitation to come and get to know a city that does not excite me. It does not interest me. And for a moment, I considered staying, asking to stay in that room longer, even though it's hot. The air conditioning isn't working. There's been a heat wave in the city. It's been very uncomfortable. And I just don't like this place. There's nothing incredibly wrong with Cáceres, this town in Spain, but there's nothing that really attracts me. There's nothing that appeals to me. So instead of playing the safe way and asking permission from my hosts to stay a few days longer and doing my best to navigate and manage my nervous system while here in this city that frankly does not appeal to me in any way, what I do instead is, for now, I decided to come and sit right here in the shade, and I just hummed while meditating and breathing consciously for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And I mean just humming, just hum. It's funny how the word hum is exactly what it is. Is that onomatopoeia? I don't know. I wonder what that's like in other languages. Just like the word om. Om. It's been helpful for me because it stimulates the vagus nerve, which runs through my neck, which helps me to calm down and return to a state of rest and digest. The parasympathetic nervous system starts to activate, start to get out of my head, and get a little bit of stress reduction. While my mind was spinning, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? My body and my nervous system felt unsafe. My inner child was freaking out. But I, as the observer of all of this, but I as the witness, I as the I am, I as the one that witnesses and observes all the things happening in this body that my soul inhabits, I chose to just hum for a few minutes. And the first few minutes were miserable. I felt terrible. I felt stressed out. My thoughts getting faster and faster, anxious thoughts. And then once maybe minute 4 or 5 hit, I started to feel a bit more comfortable. Started to feel a bit more relaxed. And then I had this thought that occurred to me, is that I don't have to be in a city. I don't have to be in a major metropolitan area. There's a lot of beautiful cities in the country of Spain, but I don't have to go see fucking any of them. Doesn't matter how many beautiful town squares and churches and buildings and museums there are, because if I don't feel good in a city, which generally speaking I don't, then why would I try to be there? You see, I also, like you, am not made for this world. I'm not made for this world. My nervous system is far more sensitive, which has expressed itself as a tendency towards addiction. I have a nervous system and an attention system that is based upon interests. And so I'm not, frankly, particularly interested in doing stupid, redundant, repetitive tasks simply because it earns me a paycheck. I'm not interested in selling my time in exchange for safety. I did that for a while, don't get me wrong. It's just it never worked. That, and I never really had a 9-to-5 job anyways. I always had a 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. job, or a 4 in the morning to noon and then back at 3 and then until 1 in the morning again job, because I worked the inconsistent life of being in hospitality and restaurants. So that safety never really worked for me. One of the reasons why certainly I reached out for alcohol, food, cannabis, and other things, because they gave me a false sense of safety. But I'm not made for this world, so why do I try to keep spending so much time in the major metropolitan areas? I landed in Madrid and I didn't like it, and so I left. But then I went to Mérida, which is a smaller town, and there was a big festival happening. And that was nice, but it was a lot of energy. So many people all drinking, not my favorite spot. And then I got invited to Cáceres here, and there was another big fair or festival. And there was a lot of people drinking, and I didn't like that either. Thankfully today I went on a beautiful hike with a young man that I met who was kind enough to show me into the mountains. And that was so recharging. But as soon as I got back to the city, stress, anxiety started to build up, because I am not made for this world. And I still get to navigate in this world. Sometimes I need to pass through a city. Sometimes I need to go to a major metropolitan area to handle some business or whatever it might be. But I think about it like Neo in the Matrix. He didn't know that he was surrounded by this artificial world, this construct that was there taking advantage of his energy, until one day he took the red pill, and then he woke up, and then he got booted out of the system, blasted back into his physical body, dropped into a little spaceship flying around the sewer systems, where he was immediately freaked out. He cracked, he popped, he vomited, he couldn't handle it. But then he trained for a while, understanding that he had to adapt to his new reality. And he trained his mind, he trained his body, he uploaded and downloaded programs so that he could navigate the Matrix, so that he could go back. He became greater than the Matrix. He became stronger than the Matrix. Now, I don't necessarily like the name or the word the Matrix, because Matrix just comes from the word mother. And Matrix is anything. It doesn't have to be a system of control. It's any expression of your reality, the structure, the weaving of this reality through the divine feminine aspect, through the material matter structure. And so your Matrix can be one that you love or one that you hate. And sometimes, if we need to go back into the Matrix, we need to learn how to be stronger than the Matrix. The Matrix will use fear. The system will use fear and anxiety and doubt. It will use low frequency energy, shit food, electromagnetic fields that are out of alignment and sync with the harmony of nature and the human physical body, our brain waves, our organs. And that can be very challenging if you don't know what to do and how to handle it. And so, That's why I'm here on a park bench. Not even a park bench, just a bench on this main road, humming. Because I didn't want my mind to go out of control anymore. So what did I come to realize? That I don't really want to be in a city right now. So instead of figuring out what city to go into next, I'm gonna go find some little country town or a mountain village or a cabin in the middle of nowhere that I can rent. Because I'm tired of trying to fit in to the city. Now maybe I'll be in a mountain cabin outside of a bigger city, because then I can go into the city and, like Neo, I can go in and find more people to offer that red pill to. Maybe I offer that red pill in the form of intense breathwork courses or hypnotic reprogramming sessions or classes and lectures that I do in person here, speaking in Spanish. I don't know yet. I don't need to know right now. There is a plan for me. There is a reason that I'm here in this country. There's a reason that I'm resetting my nervous system. There's a reason that I came to a place that I feel so foreign, and yet I feel excited to be here. There's a reason that I'm here challenging myself and rewiring and releasing and letting go of old programs. Because I am very different. I'm not made for this world. And neither are you. But the choice is mine. Do I suffer, using that as an excuse to justify my pain? Or do I learn how to overcome, to become stronger than? To be Neo, who wakes up and recognizes that he's more powerful than the agents and those systems of control. Look, you may not have been made for this world. You may have been made to help change this world. And that's a beautiful thing. And you can't do it alone. Don't even try. In fact, even the idea of sitting and humming on a park bench is a great way to help me reestablish my nervous system, but it also would be better to do that with other people. Co-regulation of a nervous system is fantastically powerful with others. We get to do this together. Community is critical, fundamental. And I bet you have never really truly known or felt what community feels like. What it feels like to have somebody who deeply cares about you and who will hold you when times are difficult. I know, because I have rarely felt that. But we got to start with ourselves first. So, before you wrap today up, before you go to bed, especially if your mind is spinning and spinning and spinning in doubt and fear and anxiety, where's my next paycheck going to come from? How am I going to pay my bills? Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I here? Sit down. Maybe grab yourself a pair of headphones and put on some binaural beats, some brainwave, alpha, theta, brainwave, calming tracks, maybe just some meditation music, or maybe just go outside and listen to the birds, and then start to hum. Make the choice to bring your nervous system back into a state of equilibrium. And then you can start to think about, not even think about, listen for answers to those questions. Where am I going? What am I doing? How am I going to make money? Because we're shifting out of this world where you're supposed to think your way through and solve every problem through a logical, rational fix, a solution. And we're supposed to, we get to listen for the answers from the heavens, from your spirit, your soul, your unconscious mind, from God, whatever you want to call the great mystery. Because there is something greater than you. And you are a part of it. It is not your lord, it is not your controller, it is not your boss, it is your collaborator, your co-creator, the very reality that you exist in. So it's time to take back control. Which is funny because paradoxically, you also need to completely let go of control. Logical, rational mind wants to hold on. The intuitive mind wants to surrender and receive. So, I have a course that I created just for people like you, that is designed for somebody who is not made for this world, to give you the instructions manual for your mind and for your nervous system that no one ever gave you. Because you exist in, you live in, you embody the most advanced technology in the universe, I believe. And this powerful technology requires care and attention and responsibility. That young man had the funniest, squishiest shark sandals. It's like he's walking around on a plastic clouds. This course has been designed to guide you through a process of equipping yourself with tools and understanding how your brain works, how your mind works, how your connection with yourself and your spirit works, so that you can live the life that you came here to live, so that you can be the visionary rebel, the misfit who doesn't have to just conform to the boxes that they have created for us. You can start to create the world as you see fit, as you desire, as God wants to express through you. And God will give you all the tools, and sometimes He gives them to you through a course that someone's offering, sometimes He gives them to you through a teacher or a guru or a whatever, somebody who comes along the way. Sometimes He just encourages you, he, she, it, whatever, encourages you to just sit down and stand by a tree and hug it and hold it and listen to the birds and think about how the birds don't ever have to worry about their food. And yeah, they still go out and get food. They still out and get worms based on whatever type of bird they are. And they don't have to stress. So why are we stressing? It's because you've been trained to stress. So if you're ready to untrain yourself in that stupid, stressful energy and ready to retrain yourself in something more productive, beautiful, collaborating with the universe, collaborating with your higher self and your soul, then check out my course. And at the very least, sit down and do your humming today. Subscribe to the channel, and if this helped you in any way, thumbs it up and share with somebody. And if you know that you were not meant for this world, that you were built for something different, then comment below and share and tell me how you know that and what you're going to do about it. Because I am you and you are me, and I love you and I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for watching. Until next time.